Good journey, everyone. I am the Crucial Crew member, Jay, and this is the Space Oats podcast live. Welcome this June 21st, 2023, Wednesday. Yeah, this is a Wednesday. Not my normal time of doing this, but yeah, I had a lot of fun last night. I actually got to go to a concert last night. Accidentally hit my mute button there. I hadn't been to a concert in quite some time, so it was really fun. I had a blast. It was one of those things that I just don't get enough time to go to shows anymore. Not like what I used to anyway. And so I just wanted to do something different for a change. Not actually non-Star Wars related, which is kind of weird. But anyway, the show that I went to was one of my favorite bands. It was Les Claypool's Frog Brigade. If you are a lover of eclectic music, I highly recommend them. They're great. Matter of fact, right now, touring with him is John Lennon's son, Sean Lennon, and he's a brilliant musician, just like his father, and it's a blast. They did a lot of Pink Floyd covers. In fact, they covered the entire Pink Floyd Animals album, as well as did some other covers as well, mainly stuff from Les's other projects. But it was a great show nonetheless. And the opening band actually really surprised me. It was Jerry Harrison of the Talking Heads, and it almost was a complete set, pretty much, of Talking Heads music, which I'm a huge Talking Heads fan as well. Growing up in Maryland, that's where David Byrne is from, who was the original member of Talking Heads, and so it was a great show. Great show over there in Tampa at the Seminole Hard Rock Casino and hotel, and it was a blast. I had a lot of fun. Really cool place to go to anyway, as well. A lot of cool rock and roll memorabilia around. Elvis's grand piano, his gold grand piano, bunch of guitars from musicians, great musicians. So if you're a music lover, I'm definitely a music lover. So I just had to throw that in there before we actually get started on this actual Star Wars podcast. Oh, my video is choppy. That's not good. All right, you know what? Let's switch this to the actual computer camera then, because it might just be my other camera. So not as clear, but hopefully this isn't as choppy. So we'll see how that works out. So again, welcome to this episode of Space Oats podcast, a Star Wars podcast. I am the Crucial Crew member, and we are going to be talking a little bit about Star Wars today. There's not really much that's been happening in Star Wars, so mainly today's episode is going to be based on today in Star Wars history. So, and then, I already talked a little bit of non-Star Wars stuff. I'll actually throw a little bit of non-Star Wars stuff in at the end as well. Just some extra news also. So let's go ahead and get right to this then. So today in Star Wars history, June 21st, 2014. This actually, so when I saw this post, I kind of got confused a little bit, and I'm really not sure if I'm actually linked into the exact season that this is referring to. So what I kind of planned on talking about, I'm pretty sure that it's hard when you get award shows and you can't really figure out which episodes and things awards are for, but I'm pretty sure that this was connected to season 5 of the Clone Wars. Again, it's hard to tell because you never really knew what the final season of Clone Wars is. So let me just read. I'm going to read off what the post is. The post from Today in Star Wars History is: the final season of Star Wars The Clone Wars garners 2 Emmy Awards for the critically acclaimed series. Now, this was in 2014, so this was before season 7 aired. So my guess was this the final season um, was the Lost Missions. Um, a lot of people, maybe the final season that was announced was season 5. Season 6 was kind of like last minute. Let's go ahead and release these episodes that we had already pretty much planned on doing and releasing as another season. So at the time, season 6 was the final season, and it does kind of correspond. It was released in time to, I guess, get these Emmy awards and nominations. But I'm still not really sure if it's connected to season 6 or not. The picture that was posted with it was, I believe, from one of the season 6 Lost Missions episodes. One of the ones with the Yoda story arc. Patrick, Pete, how you all doing? Good to see you, by the way. Thanks for joining in tonight. So the two Emmy awards that were actually for that series, and again, the Emmy awards never, when it would announce the awards for Clone Wars, most of the time it never really announced like which episodes it was connected to. So there were 3 nominations for Star Wars: The Clone Wars that year. It was the 41st Daytime Emmy Awards, by the way. Not the only Emmy year that Clone Wars was nominated. It was nominated and won previous years as well. I talked about that within the past few weeks, actually, with some other awards that were given to the Clone Wars animated series. But the 3 nominations for what I'm guessing is season 6 is Outstanding Special Class Animated Program, Outstanding Individual Achievement in Animation, which was mainly for Christopher Voy for color, and Outstanding Achievement in Sound Mixing and Animation, which had a bunch of individuals involved with that: Cameron Davis, David Accord, Frank Ranella, and Mark Evans. The achievement in sound mixing animation did not win, unfortunately, which I think the sound is amazing, especially in season 6, The Lost Missions. There's a lot of really amazing episodes in season 6. Yeah, I've been rewatching it today, actually, so I totally agree with you. The only we'll get into that because I'm going to talk about season 6 a lot tonight. But the 2 that won were Outstanding Special Class Animated Program, which is awesome to win that award, and then Outstanding Individual Achievement in Animation, which was Christopher Voy for color. And I mean, I always loved the animation style as Clone Wars progressed into the seasons, and we got into season, really, I think it started to grow in season 3 and season 4, and when it was ending, season 5 and 6 was just beautiful. There was so much with the color. I'm actually watching right now. I kind of have it on, and I'm not my favorite story arc, but the Jar Jar Mace Windu story arc, which is kind of fun. But the colors in some of those are beautiful. Which I love all the golds and the orange tones that come out in that one. Yeah, so season 6, amazing. Lost Missions, I agree with you. I'm a big fan of season 6. It has a lot of beautiful stuff in here. Just to kind of throw up here, if you're watching on video, this is the DVD that was released for the Lost Missions, the Blu-ray DVD, with Yoda and the clone trooper on the cover there. A lot of great story arcs within that season. It I must have accidentally hit something and it took my camera down. So the entire season, 13 episodes, was released on Netflix because this was not intent. It was basically canceled at that time after season 5, and as I said, Dave Filoni just went ahead and just finished the remaining episodes that was going to be the next season, and it was just released in bulk on to Netflix. just one shot, straight out there, first airing in March 7th, 2014. Um, so a lot of three basically principal writers, Katie Lucas, Christian Taylor, and Jonathan Rinsler. Um, the whole first story arc, which is actually my favorite out of season 6, with the clones and the basically the discovery of the inhibitor chip, written by Katie Lucas, which is one of my favorite story arcs of pretty much the entire Clone Wars series. Was that story arc? Um, Beautifully written, great story, ends in tragedy. I mean, just it keeps you holding on to the edge of your seat the entire time, even when you watch it again and again and again, because you want Fives to discover the truth, and you want this truth to come out. Obviously, we know it's not going to happen, but he was so close so many times, and just the battle uh, that was going on behind the scenes, and everybody's uh, just against him, and he's just trying to fight to get that truth revealed. Um, so beautifully written. Katie Lucas had some amazing story arcs. Honestly, she did a lot of writing for Clone Wars, and honestly, I loved a lot of her stuff. I almost wish that we would see her involved with more Star Wars. Um, I would actually like to see her write some episodes of live action. Honestly, uh, I don't know what her connection is with Lucasfilm anymore, um, but I would really love to see her get a little bit more involved with Star Wars. I think she certainly shows her talent of storytelling, um, that she obviously got from her father, and I guess understands the story very well to be able to write these amazing episodes. Um, so basically, when season 6 was going to be announced, obviously these episodes were very um, had very deep, went into the real mysteries of the light and the dark sides of the Force. That gets into the end of the series with the Yoda episodes. Really, we dive into some of that Force mystical, what the Force is and what the Force can do, which I think we're gonna maybe get a little bit of that in the prequel movie that's going to be coming out, with telling about the dawn of the Jedi, or the dawn of the Force. I think those last episodes of season 6 are going to be something that we're going to maybe watch a little bit closer, and then maybe see some connections to that movie that's going to be written, um, telling us that story about the beginning of the Force, and how the Force was actually discovered and understood, which would be pretty amazing. So again, 13 episodes. It was actually supposed to be 22 total episodes. You can actually, I know on the DVD, you can look at um, the unfinished, some of the unfinished episodes, uh, the animatics and so forth, and not final production of those episodes, were available as a like bonus on the DVD. I don't know if you can watch them on Disney Plus, honestly. I want to say I saw them on there before, but I'm not really sure if that's the case. Um, Patrick saying, guess we'll get a little of some of that into Ahsoka too, the World Between Worlds. I'm guessing that as well, but not so much the World Between Worlds is what I was kind of referring to, but because that was more so brought up in season 7, but season 6, with the Yoda episodes, with him kind of really diving into the mysticalness of the Force, and all that was pretty amazing. So yeah, that kind of stuff, I think we won't see too much in Ahsoka. Well, I mean, maybe that's the explanation of the World Between Worlds, and the connection to the Force and so forth. I don't know. Yeah, I'm hoping they don't get too much into that though, because I really just want to see more of a setup of Thrawn and kind of like an heir to the empire type storyline going on there. So, but it almost seems like they are going to be doing some flashbacks. I've seen some stills going around with Ahsoka and Anakin. I don't know if they're real or not, but I've seen stuff popping up um, with Hayden and Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka kind of together. So I don't know if those are real or if they've been tweaked and all that junk. You can never tell on the internet these days, and it's not been officially released. So don't really know if they're gonna have some flashbacks with Anakin and Ahsoka or not. I hope so, honestly. I hope they do kind of the same thing that they did with Obi-Wan, and we go back and we actually see them together. So with live action, so telling some sort of a story that that kind of precurses what's going to happen in Ahsoka. So that would be pretty cool. Yeah. So there was some amazing story arcs, like I said. So the first story arc that had to do with Fives basically discovering the inhibitor chip. That was actually 4 episodes, written by Katie Lucas, really well done. There's 4 episodes titled "The Unknown," "Conspiracy," "Fugitive," and "Orders." Um, again, even went all the way to the top. I always wanted to know what Chancellor Palpatine said to Fives to basically set him off, to actually turn on him, which then in turn led to his being arrested because the Chancellor accused him of just kind of snapping in that room. But you knew something was said to him, and Fives never said it what was happening, but he did reveal to Anakin and Rex that it went up to the top, including the Chancellor, and he never really said what he found out from that interaction in that room, and I wish that they would actually tell us what he actually did tell him to set him off in that way. But basically starting off that story arc with the one clone that his chip malfunction, and he basically executes that order too soon, killing a Jedi, and the investigation really starts there. And of course, we have AZ3, AZ from Bad Batch, which is really cool to be able to see AZ in that story arc, helping out Fives. Kind of in this investigation. Shaak Ti plays a major role in this one, really showing that she wants to really to get to the bottom of the story of what's going on. Every little thing that Fives kind of keeps finding out and keeps explaining to her, she really wants to really know she has this feeling that something's going on, and she kind of has her investigation going on the side as well, with those inhibitor chips and what's going wrong with them, and was this the cause of what happened with that execution of the Jedi? So again, probably my second favorite story arc of the entire, besides the last season 7 with the Siege of Mandalore with Ahsoka, definitely is my second favorite out of all of them. So man, I'm watching the color, getting to another episode with Mother Talzin. I forgot that she was in season 6 again, and I just love the coloring. Oh my goodness, the reds and the yellows and everything. It's just so beautiful. Amazing. Then you have the banking clan kind of story arc with Clovis and Padme, and again, them reaching out and connecting to each other. So we got the episode An Old Friend, The Rise of Clovis, and Crisis at the Heart. You see Anakin's jealousy here. You also see a little bit of kind of concern from Padme here when him and Anakin and Clovis kind of get into that fight, and Anakin just kind of goes off on him. Um, you almost see that like little dark side coming out of him again, and Padme gets to see it for the first time. So he goes full on dark side, like force choking Clovis at that point. Um, Looked like he was almost just going to strike him down and kill him in that room, and Padme, stopping it. But a lot of jealousy going on there. Of course, that ends not too great. That story arc not too great for Clovis, but um, and then you have the Disappeared, part 1 and 2, which again is that storyline of Jar Jar, and Mace Windu in that first one, and then part 2, which is basically what I'm watching right now, which is kind of getting into that Mother Talzin and her being involved with it as well. Again, Jar Jar and Mace Windu. It's a kind of this. They're 2-part story arc in this one. I did like this. The second episode was really good. I don't know, just episodes with Jar Jar and the. I love him and I hate him at the same time. It's like it's so corny, like seeing Jar Jar get serious, because he's always goofing off and he's always doing all sorts of accidental stuff, and kind of makes it a little bit crazy when you're watching those episodes. And then you get the final episodes, which I think there was another story arc in there as well with it's been a while since I've watched season 6, and I'm gonna try to. I know the last 3, I guess the last 4. Yeah, the last 4 were all that Yoda story arc with the Force. The Lost One voices Destiny and Sacrifice, which again, it's been a while since I've watched those, so I'm gonna try to watch a little bit of those tonight, and revisit those a little bit. But great season, great story arcs. Even the ones, like I said, the ones that they didn't finish, but you can watch, kind of like the unfinished versions of them. There was some good episodes with that, with like the Kyber crystals and so forth, that you can kind of see those story reels going through. And I know it's on the DVD, but I'll have to look and see if it's on Disney Plus. Is the other thing. So, but yeah, that's today in Star Wars history. So Emmy Awards for the Clone Wars, more Emmy Awards, which it went on to get some Emmy Awards again later on for season 7, and it continues to get nominations and so forth with other animated programs like the Bad Batch and so forth. And it's just always been amazing. Mother Talzin's sword is just outstanding. I want to see that in live action, something like that. I forgot about that too. Oh my goodness. Thought the Darksaber was cool. Yeah, man. We gotta bring some Sith witches to live action. That would be really amazing. It's just really cool. Some of the things that were with her was just really creepy and just brought that horrorness to Star Wars, which is really awesome. So, but so that's today in Star Wars history. I know that I saw today, kind of late in the afternoon. I haven't watched it yet. This is non-Star Wars related, but if you're a Marvel fan, Secret Invasion dropped today. I have not watched it yet, but I'm a big Nick Fury fan. I was kind of looking forward to this series, so might have to check that out tomorrow morning, so forth. So TJ is doing Ventress for Mosh. Oh, no way. All right, can't wait to see some pics of that, because I'm sure she'll do an amazing job with that. Yeah, I can't wait to see those posts. So yeah, that'll be awesome, and I'm sure she'll do some cool footage with some sword action, because she does a really good job with that. So yeah, so it'd be pretty awesome to be able to see that. But yeah, again, not much going on in Star Wars. Nothing really big getting released. I know that they've been doing some things with the comics lately, talking about the comics coming out. We got the replica sabers. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, she's gonna do some lightsaber stuff too. So can't wait to see that. She'll probably be doing some pre videos and posting them, and maybe some post videos. She always does a great job with that. Marvel bringing the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series to comics. If you're, some people are a fan of that, some people aren't. I like to see adaptations from screen to paper to comic. Again, it's just a different style of art and storytelling. I liked what they did with The Mandalorian, bringing that to comic form, and kind of looking forward to seeing the Obi-Wan series. The covers, you can see the covers, a couple variant covers on StarWars.com right now. So if you're interested in that, take a look at that. I can't wait to see. Can't wait to see that. Yeah, San Diego Comic-Con announced an exclusive signed version of the new book, Inquisitors: Rose of the Red Blades. Okay, yeah, nice, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, so if you're a fan of comics, which I know some of you are, uh, and you like the adaptations, definitely, yeah, Rise of the Red Blades. That's right, Rise of the Red Blades. I thought that sounded off, but thank you for correcting that. So yeah, I'm just getting into the last story arc, the Yoda story arc, with like how it's. I forgot it starts off with the discovery of Sifo Dyas's lightsaber, which basically how it all kind of gets started with them investigating that disappearance of Sifo Dyas. So yeah, that I forgot that kind of dives into that storyline, wondering who Sifo Dyas really was. And we kind of learn a little bit about his story as well. I forgot all about that as well. Some of that was also even that story was in one of the Journey to the Force Awakens, I believe. There was some storyline connection to Sifo Dyas with some relics and so forth. Sounds like a metal band, the Red Blades, live at the Civic Center on Sunday, right? The Red Blades. Even Rise of the Red Blades, that'd be a cool name for a band. Or Inquisitors. Inquisitors would be cool too. Pretty much all kind of Star Wars stuff would be cool. You could pull a lot of names from Star Wars and make some awesome bands. Honestly, seeing my favorite band last night, Les, with the Frog Brigade, I think if I end up getting into doing this armor and I end up customizing it later, I might end up doing a Frog Brigade, basically troop. So I think that might be kind of like a theme for my clone. So, but yeah, we'll see. We never finished the CW. Blu-ray set we have doesn't include the 6 and 7 seasons. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I always bought them like each season, and I think this is the last one I actually bought complete season, was season 6. I don't even have season 7 on DVD. That's when I kind of stopped buying DVDs. But yeah, the sixth season, the sixth season is definitely awesome. I love, by the way, Pete, that theater looks amazing. By the way, jealous so much that I don't have the space to be able to do something like that. It looks amazing. And season 7 does have some of the most beautiful storylines. And I love how season 7 concurrently goes with Revenge of the Sith, and things are going on in the background that if you're watching, you can kind of see a different perspective, or you're seeing things happen right before certain scenes in Revenge of the Sith, or right after certain people that were talking certain Jedi over, communications, and you kind of see their holograms from the other side of where they were at the time. So really cool how they tied all that together just so well in season 7. And it was so awesome to be able to watch season 7, at least the Siege of Mandalore story arc, um, at Anaheim on the big screen with so many fans was really awesome. Yeah, the assault on the docks of Mandalore, and that was just outstanding. It was really, really amazing. So I love that season. It was pretty awesome. Um, but yeah, so not much other going on with me. I still haven't gotten back to the parks in a while. I got to get to Hollywood Studios. I was actually online getting together some items for my costume um, for the Halcyon. So getting ready to order a few more things, and yeah, so starting to work on that because it's crunch time. The Ahsoka episodes of the shorts tying into season 7. Rex says, "I hope that training pays off." Oh, you mean the Tales from the Jedi with the Anakin Ahsoka, the 3 shorts, and the when Anakin was training Ahsoka? That was the Tales from the Jedi episode. That was really good, though. I love that one. I actually hope that we'll see stuff like that. Like that's the kind of flashback that I kind of want to see. Maybe a training, You're getting a lot of training flashbacks with like Anakin and Obi-Wan, and I would love to see a training similar to that, but with Anakin and Ahsoka. Um, Kind of teaching her as well would be really, really cool to see something like that. So, um, yeah, we'll see what happens. Ahsoka not too far away. But we got a couple things heading our way. Indiana Jones is about a week away. I can't wait to go see that next Friday, I think, right? June 30th. Man, week's going by so fast. Um, we're already getting there. Yeah, I'll be going to see that. So definitely be talking about that next week as well. So next week, I got a couple people that have been asking. I'm trying to get somebody to maybe join me on the broadcast next week. So we'll see what happens. See if I can't get somebody. We'll see if it can't work. Um, but it might be tight though, because I don't know. I might not do that just because I might end up, depending on when I get home tomorrow, next Tuesday night, it might be a little bit. I might be going live late by accident just because of me being somewhere next Tuesday. But I'll try to hit it at 10. So it won't be anybody interesting. Uh, Nobody big. Just somebody to go back and forth with live. So which would be pretty fun. I think it would make it a little bit more interesting. So, um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I just gotta reach out to the one person that I really, really want and see if he's into it and he really wants to do it. I don't know if he is though, but I'd love to have him on. So it'd be really cool. Going to get a D3 action figure. Yes, I am. I need to get one of those like ASAP. I forgot about that. Yeah, D3 action figures released on the Star Cruiser. Um, Definitely got to get one of those. So, yeah, I mean, come on, it's D3. D3, gotta have that D3 action figure. So, I still gotta get some stuff that I didn't get to get on the Halcyon. So, um, the rest of those items, as much as I can, whatever's left. Yeah, smuggling list getting long, right? Yeah, I know. And I'm sure I know a lot of people are reaching out to try to get people to buy them some of the things that they didn't get either. So we'll see what happens with all that. So might be making purchases for other people as well. Um, yeah. So other than that, everything pretty. That's pretty much it. I think Not much else. Not much else going on. I can't think of anything else to talk about. An empty Pelican case for cookies. That's funny. Take as much as you can. Raid the buffet. Yeah, all that good food. Ugh. I hope they release a cookbook or something, so we can make all this stuff at home. Um, yeah, so I guess that's it. I don't have anything else to talk about for Star Wars this week. Again, it's kind of like the dark period of being bringing them home for Dr. Pershing. Try to hide some things on the ship. I want to be there forever. Oh, I hope the ship is going to be there forever. That's just what's worrying me, that they might do something to that place that's not good. So, but I don't even want to think about that. It would be nice to be able to just leave the legacy there. So, but I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with the building. It would be a shame to see it go to destruction. So let's just put it that way. Yep. But yep. We'll see what happens. Other than that, I think everything else is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably end this a little bit early tonight, just because a little bit still exhausted from yesterday. Patrick, your wife told you that she didn't get you a Father's Day gift, but to buy a Halcyon Saber when you go. Nice. That's great. Yeah, there you go. Halcyon Saber is great. I have mine right over there. Can see it from here. It's a good saber. It looks pretty cool. Pretty awesome. I actually met the person's husband that helped design the saber. Actually, she worked on that team, so pretty neat. Love that saber. It's a good saber. Still waiting for that Caleb Dune saber though. They are very light. Yeah, it's different than the other Legacy sabers. Honestly, that one's lighter than the others, which is nice. I mean, it's not as big either. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, some of those Legacy sabers are just big. So, but yeah, it is a lot lighter. So, yep, I do like that fact that it's light. Um, yeah, so I guess that's about it tonight. How is it so light? I don't know. I guess just the components that they use to make it. I don't know. I don't know what they did, how they made it differently. Maybe the metal's different, but it is, yeah. Like I said, it is short. Like, I'm even looking at my boxes right now, like the cases, and the Halcyon case it's like a good 4 inches shorter than the Cal Kestis lightsaber. I mean, that was a big saber. Even just the half of it was big, and it's a good. The case is good 4 inches shorter, so it's definitely a short hilt. Because if you think about the case, and then you have space in the case as well on either side, it's really not that big of a saber. Yep, it is. It's shorter, but then again, the feel of it, the metal feels lighter itself. Like, if you kind of like flick the metal and you feel it, it just doesn't feel as heavy or as thick, the metal. So it might be a different kind of metal that they used with that. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and head on out for the evening. So it's been great to have everyone here tonight. Thank you for joining in. We had a few people tonight. So yeah, we'll see you next time. Remember, on my Instagram page, the Crucial Crew member, I usually do a daily Today in Star Wars live stream. And then next week should be next Tuesday, normal time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. and we'll talk more about some today in Star Wars history. I'm also going to do another crucial character pick as well next week. So it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one. That's why I kind of want to have a guest spot on next week. So I'm going to try to reach out to him and see if he wants to do that. So, but anyway, have a great night. Thank you for joining in. Don't forget to enjoy some Star Wars, especially enjoy season 6 of the Clone Wars. If you haven't had a chance to see that, definitely pop that in, pull it up on Disney Plus, and watch those episodes. They're really good. They call them the Lost Missions, but honestly, I think that's a bad name for them because they are definitely should not be lost. They are definitely very important and crucial to the Clone Wars story and the Star Wars story as a whole. So until next time, watch some Star Wars, listen to some Star Wars, read some Star Wars, and most importantly, may the stars light your way.